Hi guys, my name is Cellestia and today's video will be covering the Terrace of Endless Spring, one of the old panda raids on 10-man heroic. To start off with is the fight the Protectors of the Endless. Back in LFR days we'd always start with the healing one of these three guys, but soloing it I find it's easier to start with Elder Regale as he tends to do a stun, which allows him to do a bunch of damage to you and stops you from being able to cast. With the gear that we have since Legion dropped, it's fairly easy to DPS him down straight away, and as long as you're not hitting the healer, then he's not going to be healing himself up while you kill him anyway. Once you get Elder Regale down, then switch to Asani and take him out straight away. They do a little bit of damage, but you can see I'm soloing this on my Shadow Priest, and aside from occasionally chucking a little protective bubble around myself, I haven't been doing too much healing at all. As a cloth wearer, we do tend to take a lot of damage, so if you're doing this on a class that isn't wearing cloth, you shouldn't have any problems at all. Once you've got the healer down, it's just a matter of getting Kaolan down, and I tend to kill his corrupted water bubbles and then just move out of the corruption that he drops on the ground. It is a fairly straightforward fight, pretty much tank and spank, but like I said, it's good to go in that particular order so that you don't end up getting stunned. The next fight is Tsulong, the dragon. I do still tend to run when I see it for the patches of light, just so I don't get the stacks of shadow continually stacking up on me, at least in the beginning phases. Then it's pretty much beat him down as much as possible. In this fight, it is a race against the clock. If he switches to his second phase, then he will require healing, and you'll have no choice but to run around and kill all of the adds until he switches back into this phase, unless you are, of course, a class that has plenty of heals. I haven't actually tried it. I'd be interested to give it a go on my Paladin and see how the tank heals stacked up for healing the boss in that phase. But I found soloing this on my Shadow Priest that I had no problems DPSing him down before he switched to that phase. You can see the adds coming in on the side. The second run through I didn't bother to even kill them because I was close enough to killing the boss. The first run through I did because they will give you a nasty knockback and you'll take a little bit of damage. Make sure to avoid the big swirling circle in the middle of the floor, as that will fear you and make you run away from the boss. Next up is Lei Shi. Lei Shi is a bit of a pain in the butt fight because the mechanics don't allow you to just hit and kill Lei Shi straight through. You have to sort of, do a couple of different things. In the animated protector phase, you need to switch targets to one of the animated protectors. You don't need to kill them all. Once you have killed one, all of them will disappear and he will no longer be immune, so you can go ahead and attack him again. The part that I mentioned that I find it's a little bit frustrating with this fight is when Lei Shi hides. As a Shadow Priest soloing this, I don't have an ability to make him come out of hide. If you are a class that has an AoE hit, then what you need to do is start looking for white bubbles. If you see white bubbles, AoE on that spot and you'll be able to break his hideout early. As a Shadow Priest, I need to have a target to use my AoE hit. I haven't tried doing it on a pet or anything like that at this point. It might be interesting to play around with that a little bit later. But for me, thus far, it's pretty much a matter of just running around so I don't take continual damage from that splashing circle and waiting for him to come out of the hide phase by itself. Then it's pretty much rinse and repeat. Kill one of the animated protectors, wait until his bubble drops, and then keep smashing him down. So it is really interesting to see. My Shadow Priest isn't particularly well geared at this point, so I think she has an eye level of around 820, and these fights aren't giving me too much trouble. You can see the animated protectors do a little bit of damage. I didn't do too much in the way of healing on this fight. I probably could have healed a little bit more. I'd also be really interested to see how I would go in disc on this particular fight. Once you have killed Lei Shi, he will then run up to the next boss, which will trigger the next encounter, which is the Sha of Fear. On 10-man heroic, the Sha has 2 phases. This is a little bit different from the LFR or even the 10-man normal mode, where it's just the 1 phase where you're fighting him in this room. On the 2nd phase, he will actually transport you to a different location. And there are a few bits and pieces that it's important to note there, because it doesn't matter how well geared you are, if you don't pay attention to this mechanic, you will die from it.
4, 3, 2.
Once you reach phase 2, the Dread Expanse, he will cast Champion of the Light on you. This is a debuff, which means that when the adds spawn, they will target you specifically. At this phase, go ahead and keep smashing him down until he goes into his submerge. When he submerges, you won't be able to hit him, but it's not for very long. As a Shadow Priest, I hit my dispersion in order to buy myself a little more time with my insanity bar up. It's really, really important that you keep an eye on the adds in this phase. The Dread spawns, which are the names of the adds, when they pop up, they will begin running towards you. If they reach you and manage to hit you in melee range, you will instantly be killed by the ability Eternal Darkness. It doesn't matter how good your gear is with that particular ability, if they hit you, you die. There seems to only be 1 add that spawns after the first submerge phase, and then after the 2nd phase that he submerges, I've noticed that there were 2 that popped up. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or if something has changed, but I found that for the duration of this fight, I was actually unable to move my character around, which didn't seem to be a big deal in terms of taking damage from the boss himself. It just means that I had to pay a little bit more attention to where the adds were and wait until they reached me rather than actually going after them. That's pretty much all there is to that fight. So I hope the loot gods will throw up all of the transmog gear that you're after. When you are finished, go ahead and click on that glowing red ball of light that you can see there. That's the way to get back into the main part of the instance itself. That's all from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. You can see more of me on my Twitch TV, and feel free to leave any comments and suggestions in the box below. Thanks.